Hi, I'm Daniel. This channel features historical photos, carefully chosen and edited to tell untold stories. Stay till the end. One of the last images is rare and almost never seen. Mongolian Shaman, 1909. Vivian Thomas, one of the early pioneers of surgical shock and heart surgery in the 1920s and 30s, who went uncredited for years. Frederick W. Loring and his mule in 1871. Governor of New York and future 26th U.S. President, Theodore Roosevelt, crossing a river on a moose, 1900. Tina Louise, Edie Adams, and Julie Newmar in Little Abner, 1956. Terry Garr, NYC, 1971. Members of the Hells Angels Biker Gang, 1973. Freddie Mercury performing in Milton Keynes on June 5, 1982. A bizarre photo. Computers on Parade, East Germany, 1987. Brandon Lee, The Crow, 1994. Winona Ryder in Bram Stoker's Dracula, 1992. Golden Half, 1972. Burmese Women in London, 1935. Portable television concept, 1967. Tom Hanks at Skyline High in Oakland, his graduating year of 1974. This behemoth of a flip cut, 1960s. Testing bulletproof glass, USA, 1931. Robin Williams, 1977. Mamie Van Doren in Untamed Youth, 1957. Preparing for a Ball, London, 1860. The evolution of British postal uniforms from 1840 left to 1940 right. Special Event Fashion Train, 1983. A Breton onion Johnny selling pink onions door to door in London, 1926 to 1927. Italian soldier operating a flamethrower with asbestos cap pulled up over his face, 1940. Marcello Mastroianni, Federico Fellini, and Anita Ekberg, 1960. Telephone repair wagon and repairman, California, 1887. A moment of daily life in Whitby, England, otherwise forgotten, recorded forever, 1900s. Photo by Francis Meadow Sutcliffe. Freddie Mercury aboard a Shinkansen bullet train, departing from Nishinomiya, Japan, en route to Nagoya as part of Queen's Hot Space Tour. October 25, 1982. Motorcycle chariots at New South Wales Police Carnival, 1936. Crisp autochrome of a lady from French Indochina, January 1st, 1914. This is not a modern photo. A woman with her hair in permanent wave curlers at a beauty school, 1940. Winston Churchill took a seat on the remnants of Hitler's chair, 1945. Model and actress Linda Harrison in her costume test for the film with Charlton Heston, Planet of the Apes, May 9th, 1967. Brad Pitt and Gwyneth Paltrow, NYC, 1995. Engineers working at a Digital Equipment Corporation customer site on a program data processor, PDP computer, California, 1971. Automobile salon at Hotel Astor, New York, 1918. A four-wheeled cycle carriage, 1850. Jim Carrey and Cameron Diaz with their stunt doubles, Lisa Nunziella and Dino Giorgio, on the set of The Mask, 1994. German Schienenzeppelin hits 120 miles per hour, 230 kilometers per hour, 1931. The legendary 1966 Toyota 2000 GT. Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston, 1990s. Tom Cruise and Sean Penn, 1981. Frank Sinatra rolling on the floor after hearing a joke, Miami, 1965. A carrier pigeon being released from a porthole in the side of a British tank near the Albert Canal during the Battle of Amiens, August 9, 1918. What the morning commute to work looked like in the 1950s. A man and a woman photographed around 1988. Beta Beta chapter of Kappa Sigma, University of Richmond, 1972. The Man at the Wheel Saloon, 1895. Nirvana, 1992. a man in the 1970s with the first TV on the block. Jazz musician Bob McNeely plays on as his audience goes wild, 1950. Marilyn Monroe and Jane Russell photographed on the set of Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, 1953. Keith Richards, Daryl Hall, John Oates, Ronnie Wood, Tina Turner, Mick Jagger, Madonna, and Bob Dylan, late 1980s. Autochrome photo of a French soldier in WW1, June 22, 1917. Madonna, 1984. Lieutenant Winston Churchill of the 4th Queen's Own Hussars, circa 1896. Effect artist John Rosenbrandt in a raptor suit on the set of Jurassic Park, 1992. Russell Crowe in an acting portfolio photo shoot, 1981. P-51 Mustang of the 26th FS 51st Fighter Group, pilot Colonel David Tex Hill, China, 1945. The only known photo of Buddy Bolden and his band, often credited with inventing jazz, the photo was likely taken around 1905. A photograph taken in front of Rome's Colosseum, circa 1897. A group of Liverpool fans on the way to Crystal Palace in the back of a horse-drawn bus for the FA Cup final against Burnley, 1914. Audrey Hepburn in a grocery store with her pet deer Ip, Beverly Hills, 1958. Marilyn, Jerry, and Dean in February 1953 when she was a guest on the Martin and Lewis radio show. The famous Hollywood sign, originally called Hollywoodland. The last 4 letters were removed in 1949. Northampton, UK, famous for its shoemaking. Kids playing on a shoe-shaped attraction, 1966. A couple in the 1970s. Steeplejacks removing the spiked crown from the head of the Statue of Liberty, New York, for reconstruction work before the World's Fair, 1938. Tim Roth and Quentin Tarantino on the set of Reservoir Dogs, 1992. Burger Queen, Tampa, 1950s. Relocating the Abu Simbel Temple after the rise of water resulting from the construction of the Aswan High Dam, Egypt, 1964 to 1968. Modern Rural Kitchen, USA, 1930s. Traffic Jam, Chicago, 1927. Sepakat Jaguar SO, one of the Sultan of Oman's Air Force, approaches a Soviet IL-38 patrol aircraft circa 1987. Remains of the launch Ranui on the rocks at Mount Maunganui, New Zealand, December 1950. It took more than 15 years to take the Statue of Liberty from concept to reality. The photo was taken in 1884, less than 2 years before she was completed. Kitten Natividad, American actress, model and dancer, 1970s. Michael Jackson at Toys R Us in Taipei, 1993. Music typewriter from 1963. A classic black and white aerial view of Lower Manhattan during construction of Cesar Pelli's World Financial Center on the landfill around June 1984. Eat a plate of ice cream every day, 1921. Monte Cassino after Allied bombing, Italy, 1944. Still shot from a 1970s Taco Bell ad, complete with pronunciation guides. Sydney Opera House under construction in 1966. A landing craft approaching Omaha Beach in Normandy, France, June 6, 1944, also known as D-Day. Bell's first telephone, a man using Alexander Graham Bell's first telephone, photo published in the Detroit News between 1915 and 1925. On August 23, 1989, about 2 million people from Latvia, Estonia, and Lithuania formed a 600-kilometer human chain demanding independence from the Soviet Union. A man on his wedding day, 1987. Seiko's 1982 TV watch featured a tiny LCD screen for live broadcasts, with tuning electronics housed in an external unit. A train passes through densely packed housing along Kensal Rise, London, England, March 1921. GE station charging an electric car, circa 1911. Smithsonian scientists J. Allen Hynek on the ladder, and Fred Whipple tracking the orbit of the Soviet satellite Sputnik 1 at Harvard University. Bob Ross, who hosted the PBS show The Joy of Painting, was once a Master Sergeant of the Air Force. View of Mount St. Helens erupting, Portland, Oregon, 1989. Niagara Falls frozen over. This postcard picture was allegedly taken in 1911, although the date is disputed. Vivian Thomas, one of the early pioneers of surgical shock and heart surgery in the 1920s and 30s, who went uncredited for years. 1920. Zhongshao East Road, Taipei, 1987. A view of the 400,000 people attending Woodstock, 1969.